This is Imagethief. In May of 2006, my friends and I went to Xinjiang in China's far west to see a different side of the country. We traveled by luxurious train and by not-so-luxurious bus.
It's really quite impressive.
And everywhere we went, we made a lot of new friends. And I took photographs of the people we met. And I took more photographs. And I took still more photographs. But, to be fair, I was photographed myself, both at my rugged and masculine best, and while wearing a woman's scarf on my head to keep warm. Our first stop was the old Silk Road trading town of Kashgar. The textiles were fine, but it was the livestock market that we were really interested in. Here we are in the livestock market. You would never believe that you could fit so many goats into one place, but we're here to show you that it's true. Goats, cows, camels, and tourists. It's a zoo. Here you can bring your sheep to market, or bring your calves to market, or simply stand around and exchange a little bull. And when you've had quite enough of livestock, there's almost always someone else who's ready to put on a show for you. After Kashgar, we drove up to Lake Karakul in the Pamir Mountains, stopping on the way to admire this magnificent vista of wetlands and windswept hills. It was at this desolate spot that we learned a very important lesson about taking cameras out during pee breaks. At Karakul, we had our choice of luxuriously unheated yurts and an opportunity to take in a truly magnificent sunset with snow-dusted hills and picturesque mountains. Well, here we are on the Tajik-Chinese border. As rough and ready a part of Central Asia as you're likely to find, particularly rough and ready if you look at the conditions of the yurts we'll be sleeping in behind us right now. A glorious sunset is just painting its last kisses on the mountains, and we're enjoying every minute of it, but we're also freezing to death, so we're hoping it finishes quickly.
Thank you.
In Turpan, we paid a visit to the surreal Emin Minaret and to the nearby sun-baked ruins of the ancient city of Gaochang. We're in Turpan now. This morning we took the bus from Urumqi, which was great. Afterwards we had a complex negotiation which resulted in us paying far too much money for a blue minivan roughly the size of a Volkswagen Beetle, into which by folding space we actually packed 6 people. It's powered by natural gas and uranium, and it's brought us to this vast empty planet where we're currently wandering in search of intelligent life and water. We hear at the end of this there is some kind of monastery, and when we get there we hope to have a religious experience. We'll fill you in when we get there.
Will you articulate
Would it be, will I get yelled at if I climb up on the top of this thing?
By whom?
I don't know.
Anyone other than us probably doesn't care that
I want to survey, or excuse me, to surmount this enormous pile of mud. Gaochang is where the monk Xuanzang was held prisoner in the 7th century during the odyssey that inspired the classic Chinese legend Journey to the West. The name Gaochang means high prosperity, which may have been true once, but today, like so much Chinese tourism, it's a lie. Mehmet found us wandering through his grape fields in Tuyak near Turpan. In the best Uyghur style, he immediately invited us into his house for tea, grapes, sweets, and naans. Mehmet introduced us to his lovely 20-year-old wife and his 2 sons, and also to his parents, who were surprised to find 6 foreigners in their house when they came home, but then polite enough to invite us all to stay the night and to pose for the mandatory photograph. If there's one thing we'll absolutely remember from this trip, it's the food. The basic raw material for everything was mutton, from which you get your mutton skewers, and your sheep's heads and feet, from which you get your sheep's head soup and your stewed feet, and of course your delightful handmade mutton noodles. And there were the naans, which come in a variety of shapes and sizes, all delicious. Then there was the ice cream. We've come here on a pilgrimage to Urumqi, which is the city on the earth that is furthest from the ocean. Pilgrimage to find this, the finest ice cream on the face of the planet, which comes in only one flavor, ice cream flavor, but in a multitude of 2 spectacular toppings. I don't like the toppings, so I will hand off to others to explain them.
Yeah, I'm also with the no topping, the pure ice cream. This is the pure ice cream bastille right here, so we will go farther along for topping.
You need the tartness of the berry to actually bring out the depth of the ice cream. So those 2 plain folk, they don't get it.
Flaked almonds. Some toasted flaked almonds on top of these.
I think it's a sign of immaturity that people need to razzle-dazzle their ice cream up with all these tawdry colors and loose syrups. I think for the more mature among us, just the plain ice cream is enough for us to really delve into the experience.
What do you call it, immature?
Urumqi also had a splendid night market, and the most amazing thing about it was that the entire thing was set up in the space of about 2 minutes. By sheer luck, we were there to catch the show. Mrs. Imagethief calls the action from behind the camera.
And I also say I've never seen anything like that.
That was amazing.
Maybe we should just pick and choose when we go down the street.
These guys just flooded the streets.
Oh.
Look at this. It's, embers are already, glowing and pots are flaming. Look at that. Just check that out. That's already a flaming. His stall is ready to go.
Was anybody killed? That was a little sudden. I thought somebody might have been run over by a lamb cart. An entire market set up before our eyes in the space of 90 seconds. From 0 carts to approximately 80 would be my top of the head guess. An empty streets to a full-on night market while we watched. A few people were killed, but you can't hear it coming, you deserve what you get. It's worth pointing out that these carts came rolling down, many of them with burning charcoal braziers and fully roast sheep already on them. I hate to think what would happen if they tried this stunt in a city like San Francisco and a few of these carts were to break loose on Lombard Street or on Union Street. It would be a disaster. A disaster. It was a good show, a great meal, and a nice way to wrap up our trip to Xinjiang. 5 days was truly not enough.
Perfect. Not quite the end, but pretty much perfect end of the last 5 days. Brilliant.
Yeah, I was really hoping for some more variety in tonight's dinner, though.
Good food, good company. What more can you ask for?
That was fine. I ate like a hog.
What a mess.
And what a mess we left behind.
The squid's gone.
Next up, ice cream. Let's go.